as like essentially storyboards would, and don't jump around quite as much.
Yeah. You know, Stephen, I think it would be really interesting actually, especially, and this is maybe a nice strategy for everyone, is to do, if you do this exercise by hand or in a notebook, a lot of times what I do is I'll take photos on my phone of each frame and then put them into a photo album so I can just swipe back and forth between them and also reorder them. So like, I think that it's a really nice tool to kind of like, if you want to figure out how to order something, you know, like order a story or something like that, and like not necessarily stick to one media. You can like jump around, and the phone can be a really nice tool for it. Your phone camera and a photo album.
Yeah. I tend to take pictures of what I've drawn with my phone and then move it over to my computer so I can mess around with it.
Cool.
Like
Great.
how I'm modifying other pages I'm working on.
Yeah, thanks for sharing those.
All right.
Miles, are you back?
I'm back. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think Ashland Fiber Network went down for a second.
Kicked me to the curb.
Because I think some of us also, other people dropped too.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of let's see. That's sort of the exercise. And let's throw a little kink into it here. So let's do one more, I think, before the end of class. We'll try one more time, but this time I'm going to give us a bit more time. So I think we'll do the same thing. Although this time I want you to come up with your own noun and your own verb. So don't use the ones that I listed. A noun and a verb, 3 frames, and we'll take a bit more time to do it. And it might be useful for you to kind of sketch and plan before you actually do the thing. So you might want to make like 2 versions, you know, like one kind of sketchy version and then maybe like the final version. So give yourself the time to kind of think about maybe options, as opposed to just be like, okay, I only have time for this image, and this image. Because what I'd like you to do is to start to think about the alternatives, you know, different movements. You know, for example, the penguin copying itself was kind of obvious, but what are maybe some other approaches to penguins making a copy, or, you know, someone dying, or you know, just like try to think to see if there's like a non-obvious way to do the terms. So spend a bit more time on design beforehand. And yeah, so I will go ahead and put 10 minutes on the clock, and we'll spend 10 minutes drawing. And we'll start now. Still stick to just 3 images. And you can also think about your verbs or your actions as being more complicated, perhaps, you know. For example, they don't have to be just jump or push. You know, they could be something that's a little bit more specific to a situation, like goes to college, for example, would be totally fine. And for those of you who are using Figma, I recommend doing this on a second page, on another page, to keep your frames separate. And another thing is to try to limit your use of words, or try not to use any words. I think that's one of the interesting things about these exercises. Try to do things without words. We have about 6 minutes and 30 seconds left. We got about 4 minutes and 30 seconds left. All right, a minute left. A minute and minute and 45 seconds left. Thirty seconds. All right, you can have a second to finish up here if you want. And we'll just share in a second. All right, I'll share here. So my sequence, or here we go. Mine was a bubble moves in. So about a bubble moving in. And this is the first image. And this is the second image. And here's the final image. And so I was trying to kind of convey this idea of like bubble moving into a house made of bubbles, or like a bubble world. The whole place is a bubble. Bubbles are moving into bubbles. The room kind of being empty and the sun being kind of outside. And so the whole thing being outside. And then the next image, okay, now we're inside and this is the window. And so I wanted to make sure the sun was outside so that you could kind of somehow carry through that idea. And then the last thing I did was I put some lines by the door to make it seem like maybe some things were dropped off, some bubbles were dropped off and then they left or something. So they kind of moved in. And then the parents basically saying goodbye after the window is filled with stuff was sort of that was kind of my approach, you know, trying to think like, how can I create these different images, but carry forward some of the symbols through them and tell a story. So yes, these are the three, these are the three pictures here. All right, so who else? Let's see some more.
I can go again.
Yeah, sure. Let's see, Stephen.
I actually did it on my computer this time in my
Great.
drawing software. Although it took a while to get it set up, so I ended up with like, I don't know, 4 minutes maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a general 3-panel thing of a lone astronaut just traveling. It's just here.
Oh, right. So do you want to describe to us each of these images?
Well, the first one is just meant to show like there's really nothing really there except like that one planet, but that's just for aesthetic purposes. The next one sort of gives off, I specifically made it like a larger area that gives off like the impression of like it's just him.
Are those post-it notes?
They look like post-it notes. Originally they were supposed to be panels, but then I
Gotcha.
figured I was running out of time.
Mhm.
So I should
Yeah.
move on to the next panel if I wanted to
Gotcha.
do it.
Yeah. That's what I was
The next
wondering
one's
about.
just a shot of like heavy shadowed like silhouette of him because there's light coming through the front and he's just, going.
This is the Star Wars hyperspeed type of image where the stars
It was originally, but I sort of moved away from that and sort of went, maybe it's just how it looks when traveling, like even
Cool.
at just normal speed.
Gotcha. And so in that first image, is it like, is the ship supposed to be moving, or is it kind of sitting there and then it like the ship turns on and they move? Like what's kind of the
it's
story you're
moving.
imagining?
You can sort of see the engine going. So I have it moving at a generally slow speed, and then just sort of speeding up.
Gotcha. So that's kind
It's
of the
just sort
story
of
that
meant
was in
to
your
feel
head.
kind of lonely, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically this panel, I specifically chose the spacesuit to be very like generic, make it in a way like there's no individuality to the
Gotcha.
spacesuit. Like you can't see the face or anything. There's no detail on like whether male or female, anything. It's just sort of an
Gotcha.
abstract human. So that's just a little thing.
Cool. Yeah, it's nice to get some details on like kind of how you're thinking about it, because I wouldn't have necessarily got the
Yeah, I end
intention
up
of like
taking
loneliness and
spending a
stuff.
lot longer thinking about it than I do drawing it. I tend to be like, okay, here, what's my concept, and I come with the concept, and then spend like 5 minutes on the concept, and then like 2 minutes drawing, being like, oh, I ran out of time.
Yeah, that can happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Stephen. All right, who else?
I can definitely go again.
Go for it.
But might take a second for my computer to load again. She's old.
Does your computer have a name?
No. I never really thought to give her one. Is it showing? Are we good?
Yeah, we see it.
All right, perfect. I misheard you when you said goes to college, so I thought you said goes to college, and now
That's pretty good gag.
Thank you. This is what I came up with. The Figma does not like my computer too much, so it's a little hard to draw on it, but I do like the slideshow function.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. You really chose a nice, I would almost say that you don't need the text in the first slide, but maybe the ghost has some kind of, is holding chalk maybe.
Oh, that'd be fun.
But because I think that it might be funnier to just have the boo at the end and that be the only word. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna really clue us in with the word, it's like that's the moment, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Jeffrey.
Yep.
When it comes from my time to share, my Figma notebook, I actually have a character map that I was doing in Google Docs. Would that count?
Yeah, totally. I would put a hyperlink into of the Google Doc in your Figma notebook, so when you're presenting, you can like click the link and follow.
All right.
So you like create a path for us.
Yeah, because I'm going to be updating it quite a bit, and I just want people to see that I'm making a useful contribution. I'm trying to make my own contribution.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, Phantom Slave 5612 KP.
Yeah, because I'm not really a master artist like a lot of other people here.
Yeah, I think that's totally fine. And also Quinn, thanks for sharing. That was pretty hilarious. We have like 5 minutes left. Does anyone else want to share?
All right. Well,
I
Let's get
kind of
some more
wanted to share
shares.
if I could.
Of course, yeah.
Screen share. Screen. So can you see it?
Almost.
Almost.
It's trying.
It's trying.
We're in.
There it is. We see it.
All right. I just used a random noun and verb generator, so I got soup and dissolve.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So some acid gets put onto it, and then it just dissolves.
It's good.
Nice.
And that's all. So if someone else wants to share, because that's it.
Nice.
Yeah, let's see a few more.
Although
Vita?
it's not.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me see if I can share it. Let's see if you can see. Well, I was trying to finish it, but it didn't turn out well. So this is about everything. The one thing that I was thinking about on repeat was the story of it's an old legendary story that Samoan parents tell their kids, and it's about Sina and the eel. And basically, long story short, Sina fell in love with the eel. Eel dies, and they cut off its head, and it turns into the coconut that everyone knows of. So, like, you know how, like, if you've seen a coconut before, you kind of realize that it kind of looks like a face.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically how I thought, like, coconut eel. That's my stuff. So, like, its head is on the sand, and it's formed slowly changing into the coconut. Wait, let's like this. It was meant to be brown, but that's about it.
Oh yeah. So it's supposed to be like an eel that's like turning and becoming
Turning into the coconut, yes.
Cool. Yeah, that's a great idea. That's a real challenge though.
Yeah, it is. But I just wanted to try it because it was stuck in my head.
Yeah.
I really want
I
to
think
just
that
emphasize
if
that
I
too.
were to approach that narrative, I would probably. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I would say if I were to approach that narrative, I would probably be trying to do something like coconut falls out of tree becoming eel, or eel gets into tree becoming coconut, or something.
Yeah.
Like what's another, what's like, and then you also have the ocean. So it's like ocean, tree, like, one or the two, something that can kind of ground one of the two symbols.
Oh, okay.
Doing it in 3 frames sounds hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one is tough for 3 frames. I agree. I was just kind of sketching some ideas out for that story, and I was like, "Ooh, I think Jeffrey's got the right idea of like it kind of keeps you grounded in like the background of the tree, and then maybe you have a pop. It's hard to do though. I mean, in 3, yeah, 4 probably, maybe 5. But, yeah.
Yeah, 4 could probably do it, I think. But yeah, that's a really nice story to think about this with.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like a creation myth of some kind.
I was just thinking the coconut tree like just walks up on the beach and picks it up and just like sticks it in its head. You're like, oh, this is mine now. Thank you.
That's really funny. Yeah, that's a nice idea too. Like anthropomorphizing the tree. We're out of time for today, and so are there any final questions before you do your presentations, or any kind of presentation questions? We'll see you not.
When are we due to do our presentations?
The recitation this week. So if your recitation's on Wednesday, your presentation will be Wednesday. If it's Friday, it will be Friday.
Okay.
And next week is Thanksgiving week, so we don't have class next week.
All right. Well, that works then.
Cool. Great.
Okay. See ya. I'll make sure to get something.
All right. We'll see you guys soon.
Bye.
Oh, you want to know about my honest question? I haven't watched it, but I heard that the YouTube was going away, or that there was a YouTube channel created for a year and then they ditched it or something. And that's part of the narrative, right?
Yeah, it's all gone now. So they deleted all of it.
Some of my.
What was it?
And then they deleted it all, but then they had a party on Reddit or something, or there was some kind of after party, right?
So they did a 12-hour live stream. I believe it was Friday or Saturday. And then at the end of the live stream, they deleted everything. So all the socials, all the videos on the YouTube was deleted. So it lasted for a whole year. It was about making a video every day for a year and then deleting all of it.
Nice.
And the people who made it already have audiences, right? They have separate channels and stuff.
Yeah. So it was Markiplier and Crank Gameplays, and they're just they play video games and do commentary on video games. But the channel was about doing other things and proving that they can do more creative things than what they were already doing.
Gotcha. So it was like getting outside of their niche with a new channel that was like temporary. Cool. Yeah, I want to research it a little bit because my other students were talking about it, but I never really got into it. Although now it's kind of hard to research because all the videos are gone, right? Basically.
Yeah. There's still some stuff out there. Now it's just like a cryptic thing for the people that were there with it. But yeah. It was fun and cool.
Oh.
Hey, GC, were you in any of the creative arts kind of community meetings last week or the week before? You might have an email about it in your email, but there's a meeting in 8 minutes at 12:30, which is kind of like a all art student kind of get together kind of thing. You might want to join if you want.
No, I have not seen anything about that. I'll check my email. Thank you.
Yeah, totally. All right, so have a good one.
Yeah.
All right.
See ya. Thank you.
All right, Miles, I guess will I see you in that meeting or?
I think I'm going to try to make it. I have something I have to take care of first. I'm on this other committee thing I have to deal with, so
fine.
I'll try to pop in. Hey, Cece.
Hey, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
How long is the creative arts meeting?
Just 30 minutes about.
Okay, well, I'll join in on that too.
Cool.
Okay, cool. We'll see you there. I'll be there.
All right. I'll try to pop over in a bit.
Okay.
Okay, guys.
Bye, Miles.
See you later. See you there. Okay. Bye.